Hey everybody, it's Golmex and welcome back to another run of the Modern Horizons 3 Arena Direct. Y'all know the drill by now. Best of one sealed, playing until at least 6 wins or 2 losses, whatever comes first. Super high variance, super high stakes. Let's just get back into it. Bajillion rares again, but this set is a constructed focus set, so there's plenty of kind of useless rares like Urza's Incubator, Branching Evolution. So that might not necessarily mean that the sealed pool is incredible. There's a lot of Eldrazi looking stuff here. We have Knoll Drifter, we have Ulamog, we have Kozilek's Command, and Devourer of Destiny. We have some good colorless sources and some ramp. That's a great direction to go. And that could play well with primarily green's the best color to use it in, but again, they're all colorless, so they could go into any deck we play if we have a grindy enough, slow enough deck. A lot of multicolored stuff here. If we go blue, red, white, and black, we can have Brea and Kaith in the same deck, which is kind of cool. Recruiter of the Guard's very dependent on what else is in the sealed pool, but maybe there's something great to tutor with it. That's interesting. Very weird rares in the sealed pool for sure. A lot of kind of specific stuff that'll really depend on what we have in terms of our commons and uncommons, where the best stuff lies, but there are quite a few of these that are just solid, period. Tamiyo, Knoll Drifter, Ophiomancer, that kind of stuff. Check out our multicolored and colorless. We have lost the Writhing Chrysalis lottery, but we open up a bajillion rares, so that's fine. Looks like we have one of like almost every landscape. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 differently named landscapes, 2 copies of Deceptive Landscape. It's a lot of colorless sources for us, which we're definitely interested in with some of our rares here. Particularly the Devourer of Destiny and the Kozilek's Command, both requiring colorless mana to cast, but being quite powerful cards if we have that colorless. Solar Transformer is going to be incredibly helpful for us in that sense as well, being ramp that provides that colorless mana, but also taps for mana of any color a few times. Very into that. Yeah, I mean, honestly, really weird sealed pool with the 4 different Eldrazi rares, where I think the core to the deck we start with going like, yeah, we're definitely playing a chunk of colorless stuff here. A good amount of these landscapes to help cast them. Then kind of pick our colors from there. This is the stuff that we're almost definitely running. None of the 2 color cards are particularly exciting. Yeah, they're all just okay. Kaith and Brea would be pretty cool, but then we'd have a very, very difficult mana base, because with multiple cards that require colorless mana, it's almost like a whole additional color in our deck. We need specifically colorless sources. So for a 2-color deck with, you know, a double colorless command and a double colorless devourer, it kind of plays like a 3-color deck, right? 2-color plus splashing and double colorless stuff. So if we're going for a 3-color deck, it'll almost feel like a 4-color deck, because we need colorless mana and blue and red and white mana. And if we're going for a 4-color deck, we might as well be playing full 5 at that point. So I think these would be a little difficult to run at the same time as multiple like double colorless cards that we need to keep uncracked landscapes around for, or a bunch of like spawn tokens or something. But let's see. Let's check out each of our colors individually, see what looks the best for us. What on earth is going on? 6 Razorgrass Ambush? What? I mean, it's fine. I'm not like super excited about that. It's just insane that I opened 6. It's a fine card. It's filler removal that plays as a land as well. I mean, I guess 6 Razorgrass Ambush and Wrath of the Skies play just a really controlling white-based deck. Something we can do. That's so weird. I do think the higher, larger removal like a Johnny Fells the Godsire and Wrath of the Skies are certainly a lot better than these ambushes, but is it really funny we have 6? Blue looks fine. These are really bad filler, these 2. These are kind of mid filler. Tamiyo is very exciting. And like Demon Fury and Spike are pretty good, and the rest is like decent filler. The Tamiyo gives a large buff to the power level of our blue, Without the Tameo, we would probably just be moving on here and not be that interested, but certainly a playable color. Check out our black now. Yeah, one removal spell. Double Gravedigg is good value, and then of course we have our great rare of Ophiomancer, a really solid uncommon from Marionette Apprentice. So these are all really nice. The rest is all fine filler. Black also looks fine, but still nothing exciting yet. Red, I like double glimpse the impossible with the amount of like giant Eldrazi we have, just spitting out those spawn tokens. We could exile one of our big expensive cards and not be able to cast it later, but it will just provide us mana for all of the other big Eldrazi that we have. Still good. I like that we have a Slice as well as an Ember Mage for interaction. Have a 2-for-1 late game removal spell as well as one cheaper early game removal spell. Yeah, red looks fine. And last but not least, green. Path of Annihilation is very good at helping us get to those really expensive Eldrazi, but the quantity of spells here is very low. But Path of Annihilation is absolutely nuts with our multiple expensive rare and mythic rare Eldrazi cards. I don't think there's any world where I'm not running Path of Annihilation at the very least. But weirdly enough, it might be green as like a splash. Splash in a territory color in Path of Annihilation and focus on some other colors primarily. Just because the quantity's not really high enough for this to be a major base color of the deck or anything. Okay, it's gonna be a weird sealed pool for sure. I would really like to run Path of Annihilation if I can. Red and blue were some of my favorite colors, so considering there's not a whole ton of green, we can try blue-red splash white and also play double colorless cards. Again, a bit of a difficult cost, but would let us get the Kaith in here. 4 mana for a 3/3 and a 1/1, you can spend 2 and tap and make another 1/1, or 4 mana for a 4/4, and you can spend 2 mana tap and put another counter on her, as well as everybody else. I guess without any other synergies, she's not that crazy, but some other spawn tokens and stuff, pretty good. Bray is really strong, but immensely difficult to cast just up front, but especially again for a deck that also is trying to hit double colorless. Unfortunately, there's no double colorless energy in Magic the Gathering. That's a Pokemon card. I mean, if we play white, we get that Wrath of the Skies. Johnny Fell's the Godsire. The sealed pool is so weird, because I feel like we're supposed to play some super weird, terrible mana, 4-color, 5-color control. Still get 6 Razorgrass Ambush. Just don't even think that card's very good in sealed. So many of the finishers are just gigantic Eldrazi. There's no way we play 6. Playing a couple I don't think would be that bad. So this is like the 4-color absolute goop pile to get Brea working. We have double white costs and double red costs. Black, red, white, blue, black, red, blue, red, white. This is the mana base of a madman. We have 1 solar transformer and some fetches. Oh, I don't think I can justify that. See what it takes to get Path of Annihilation in here. It's just so good with these giant Eldrazi. Glimpse is also quite good on that front. Kind of Naya combination. What if we play like no cheap creatures and instead just play 6 Razorgrass Ambush? Can't be right. Don't mind the way that this pile looks. 4 of our landscapes can grab a black source. So if I run a single swamp, I have 5 ways to crack towards black for Ophiomancer and Brea. And I also want to run a single island. I only have 2 blue landscapes, though. I don't think it's totally crazy to go swamp Ophiomancer, but Brea might still be going really deep here. I mean, is the blue better than the white? I mean, I really like a Johnny Fells the Godsire and Wrath of the Skies as great slower removal to help stabilize. We get a Kozilek's Unsealing. And the blue. I don't have a ton of cards to trigger it, though. I've got 1, 2, 3. 3 at the 4, 5, 6 mana value range. And then 3 above, so 6 cards total. That would trigger this at all. I guess one thing I really like about playing our blue is that our good blue spells don't require double blue. Our good white spells do require double white. And Johnny Fells the Godsire, Wrath of the Skies. I mean, Recruit of the Guard's probably decent as well. Glyph Elemental's definitely decent. But, you know, 2 of our best cards require double white, which is pretty difficult in a 3.5 color deck, 3 color with colorless matters cards. It's this blue build. I guess the blue build runs the Shapeshifters to add to the number of cards that trigger Kozilek's Unsealing. Run Harvesters over Void Pouncers. Set up our draws, dig to our many bombs. Probably just lower the red count quite a bit because we really need to have blue mana early in this build because 5 good early blue creatures. So save it for just the red spells that are still good late. Still not 100% sure on Unsealing. Because Shapeshifter is like quite filler, quite bad, without a huge reason to want to run it. But like without the Shapeshifters in here, I don't feel like I have enough cards that actually trigger Unsealing to make it quite worth it. It's like I'm having to run pretty bad cards to try to get that thing ticking. So 5 Harvesters, or 5 2-drops is probably a bit much for this strategy as well. Don't love the counter spell in here. And don't love the double red in here now that I'm cutting a bunch of red. These are all potential cuts. Oh my god. What am I doing with this pool? I've got 4 green landscapes. If I want to run like only Path of Annihilation and color. That's another way to take it. Alright, I gave up. Now is really not the time to be doing this kind of nonsense, but I've done too many of these runs really seriously. I'm just going all in. We're going all or nothing on this one. 5 color with an awkward mana base. I mean, I have a million landscapes to crack for the colors I need, but I also need the landscapes for our double colorless cards, so that'll be interesting. There's only a Path of Annihilation and Solar Transformer for spells that can actually fix our mana, but we can try to utilize our Tempest Harvesters to ditch colors that we don't need anymore. To dig a little farther, we have 4 spell lands here, which allows us to run 15 lands and 4 of those. That's 19 lands if we play these as lands always, which will happen more often than not, I believe. But we also get to play them as spells when we're flooded. Yeah, I mean, this is kind of nuts here, but I don't think that I saw like a really good consistent 2-color deck here, so I said, you know what, fine. All or nothing. We hit the right colors and we do ridiculously explosive things. We don't, we lose. That's all there is to it. We'll call it a deck here, hop into the gameplay, see how far this one can take us. Okay. If you do look at the top 4, put one of them into your hand. Sorry, no, one of them on top, exile the rest. Guess I can set up my first draw. Yep. Could use a white source. Probably Razor Grass Ambush. It's the only one of these that prevents flood. I hit the wrong stuff. And here's turn 1 Tamio. Apologies, fixing my audio settings. We get to draw a card off of every time we attack with Tamio, which is beautiful. We can save that clue, have it just sitting around for later, so I can go Tempest Harvester first still. But definitely good to get the clue on the board. Draw 3 cards in 1 turn, we get to flip Tamio into the Planeswalker. Should be pretty easy to do if she does not get killed, because Tempest Harvester plus the clue token is 2 pieces of card drawn, that plus our 1 per turn. It's 3 cards in 1 turn. I'd say I don't know if I actually really want to flip her that early, but I can flip her after declaring another attack with her and get another clue as well as getting the Planeswalker, which could be good. Yeah, if they're going to let me attack and get another clue, I'm going to do so. So let's see if we can here. Yep. Can poke for 2, or I can flip Tamio here. I feel like this deck cares more about grinding out a bunch of value than a bunch of damage. I mean, look at the hand. We got a board wipe, got multiple removal spell style creatures. Yeah, let's just start working on Tamio. Second Tempest Harvester, and play our first white source.
I will protect this library with my life. Use your words.
And I can crack this for white so that I have access to both the double white spells, but for now I really should not be cracking it with both of the double colorless spells as well. There's a glimpse. Okay. 3/3 over there. -3 to draw a card, because I can draw, discard, and then pick it back up. Don't think I want to do that. Just dig for mana. There's the green.
Violence is not the answer. Clearly, you're not here to learn.
Getting towards a really good Wrath of the Skies, but I'm not getting rid of my colorless mana yet. Beautiful draw. Pick up Glimpse right now, but I can also shut off all their attackers except Repurposer. The Dryads won't be able to do anything.
I am not defenseless.
Wrath of the Skies is very good. with like a big Eldrazi on the board. Because the Eldrazi like definitely lives, but we kill everything else. That area auxiliary, buffing both the Dryads, giving them a 3/3 flyer. I might have to pop Wrath of the Skies just now off of the Annihilation. Would be a little bit rough, because then I wouldn't have any spawn tokens anymore for my Man of Any Color type stuff. Can only do X equals 1 right now, so we're not doing that.
Aggression is unbecoming.
Still at 20, and they're just gonna like clear out Tameo if I don't Wrath of the Skies yet. So I don't mind not actually doing it then, just playing Devour. Seems fine.
Violence is not the answer.
Really gonna want a Kozilek's command to make a whole ton of spawn tokens, but I don't think I should do that until we've cast our Wrath of the Skies. Oh, Wrath of the Skies will blow up our own Path of Annihilation. If I do it for 4 or more, which I kind of wanted to stop the... to kill the Godsire token as well. Otherwise I have to wait until the token spawns, and then I can do it for X for 3 or less.
Stop interrupting my work.
Sure. Used a lot of resources on this Tameo, so that's fine.
Our story together has ended.
If I wait on Wrath of the Skies, I don't have anything to cast this turn, because anything I cast would just also die to the Wrath. But they also can't, like, play around it with their Fells the Godsire in the first place. It just makes the token no matter what. They can't choose not to make the token. So I'll just take a hit here. We gain some life, we'll gain more off a path later. Five mana value. This involves blowing up my own Path of Annihilation now. I've got white, blue, black, green. I can get red off of landscape. I can crack this one on white and then still end up with all 5 colors for everything else. Okay. Oh no, I forgot I only have 1 plains in here. And got exiled. Okay, so I won't have Godsire mana if I Wrath of the Skies away my path. And I might just command the angel. Command the angel and draw here. There's the second white. But now I'm not going to Wrath away my Path of Annihilation anyway, so I'm going to ditch that, I think. Actually, I'm Wrathing away the tokens, though. So I still won't have double white till I hit another Eldrazi. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Still have Ophiomancer after this. I wouldn't quite have Kaith. And get blue and another white. Or blue and a red. So we'll Ophiomancer after this. White, 1, 2, 3. I guess I am allowed to overpay on the Wrath to keep some extra energy here. Just for like Tempest Harvester. So I did have enough mana to overpay by 1. So I should have overpaid by 1. Alright, if they play something I need to kill with Slice, then I'll not crack the landscape. So that I can draw into the Slice for later. But if they don't, then I will crack this to play Kaith next turn. Okay. Keep the forest with a Tempest Harvester on board. I've already cast both of the double colorless cards in the deck. So I can cycle this landscape instead. Oh my god. We drew very well that game. I have no idea what I'm doing with this deck. There's so many decisions of like when to draw and discard and like what to cast and all that stuff. That game was definitely far from played perfectly, but we drew really well, so we'll just go 1-0 heading into game 2. Okay. These are not green sources for both of our green cards in hand, which is awkward, but Harvester does some digging, and we have blue, red, white for Kaith as well. Okay, let's get red immediately since we top decked another red spell. So I can go Harvester and a Glimpse into Kaith. Okay. Yep, we are on the draw this one, so we're facing the 2-drop on the play. Brood Scale from our opponent. They're curving on us. Untapped land swing. I can't block her, they just eat it with a 3/3 anyway. And then a Power Stone. They are ramping on the play here. There's our green source. Can get the white man and guarantee a Kaith, or get the green man and guarantee a Path of Annihilation. Then a turn after a Path of Annihilation will it'll allow me to do some really absurd things. If we can live that long as their next turn's not super explosive, but looks prone to be. They'll have 6 mana. I could definitely see the argument here for just leading with Kaith. Let's see what we draw here. Another land. I mean, how much is a 3/3 and a 1/1 really going to help us at stopping like a super explosive turn here? Versus setting up the mana to have our own really explosive turn. I'm going to try to set up the path. We'll see what they've got. We're happy to see them adapt to Brood Scale, because it means they're not just slamming down a 6-drop or something here. Not yet. The one part I hate about this is it could mean a counter spell. If I crack this for white to try to bait a counter out with Kaith, I have no green for these 2 other spells, so I don't really have that option. We break. I mean, honestly, this hand doesn't really need the Path of Annihilation at this rate. We're 1 mana away from just like playing everything. But it is way, way better if it resolves, and luckily it did. It was just a draw spell they're holding up. Brain Surge. I don't think I'm drawing discarding this turn. So we'll get our poke in. Not blocking a 3/3 with a 2/1 yet either. Especially against green-blue, where this is likely to chump block a 7/7 or something later. Gain this life back later, casting giant spells. Speaking of giant spells, there's a target for a Johnny. That glimpse here. Okay. Sack 1 spawn, get 3. Yikes, it was spell, spell, spell. Tragic. None of our giant top end spells, at least. Some of our pretty good lower end, though. Pinged off of every colorless creature that enters their board now, and every colorless spell gives them another spawn. Go to 9. Oh my god. Idol of False Gods is really nasty with Fleshraker. It's a ping every single turn, and they spam enough spawn to get that to the big Annihilating Eldrazi really quickly. It's a pretty good turn. It's going to be complex mana, though. Oh, God. Yeah, that's huge. 11/11 trample now. Or toughness. Go to 1. I have to dig with Harvester. I have to find an out to this. We have 6 damage on board. Drifter gains a bit of life. Cast a creature spell with mana value 7 or greater, you gain 4. If I evoke this, I'm still casting it. So I still gain the 4. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I have exactly the mana to cast both of these. It's 9 toughness. See, Ulamog's the kind of out I was looking for. Now all my spawn are gone, so Ulamog's not castable here. I think they got me here. I can't block this without killing it. And live. Yeah, I have to block with at least 7 toughness. If I block with 6 toughness, I take 5 and die. So I could do this and block and it wouldn't kill it, but it would live. And then the fact that it lives means that it'll be an untapped Nyxborn Hydron blocks. So if we'd blocked with these earlier instead of spawns and had a couple spawns left, that would be the out. It's just straight gas over there. Yeah, no, they got me. This thing's too big. We needed to find a way to leave some spawns there to be able to maybe cast the Ulamog. But even if we did resolve the Ulamog here, we would die since they had Aberration and Witness alongside it at that point. So I'd block one of these, get trampled by the others. Dang. Felt winnable, but did not find the line. Okay, one more peek. Okay, it's not it. I mean, I said it in an earlier one of these arena directs, but Nyxborn Hydra has been absolutely absurd in sealed. Sand is very good. We have blue for Harvester, we got a white land as well, and we have the green land for the Path of Annihilation. Natural white source too. I will say the matchups that we've gotten in so far have not been against Boros or Azorius or anything, like none of the aggressive decks, so Razorgrass Ambush has consistently looked just worse than a Plains. Well, we'll see. And I guess I can cast it here. But I don't think I want to cast it here, because if I do and I don't draw land, it'll be bad. Yeah, just run out another Harvester and crack for green. If they want to spend their turn given Menace, that's chill. Alright, we're going to spend the whole turn poking for 3. And then that'll still just 1-for-1 trade for a Harvester later. Doesn't have permanent menace. Sure. Can have all the life you want. Territory color value here. I'm not milling the mountain because it's my only mountain for this landscape. It's a pretty good rebirth. And a pretty good draw off of it. Oh my god. This run, she's gonna be losing to Nyxborn Hydra. Got Annihilator here. Just something. Let's see what I have that I can tutor right now. I know there's a Tameo at worst. The Tameo's not that good right now. Wait, where'd Tameo go? Oh, Tameo's 3 toughness. Okay, Ophiumancer's pretty good. It still drawsy nonsense. Okay, so let's annihilate. I guess they could sack the vampire then block with the Hydra if they're feeling bold. But I've got the trick to kill the Hydra then. Null Drifter would die too, but should fully get rid of the Trampler. Okay, they sack a land, very happy with that. Oh. Thank you for letting me undo that arena. My god. I cannot fell and play Ophiumancer. kind of a bummer. We'll just fell then. Fetid Gargantua. They're going to do some drawing and do some digging. They're going to pass through here. Try to hold off the Annihilator. Vigilance to the Flyer. I'll double removal to kill the Hydra so the Flyer can keep trying to get in. And getting Annihilator triggers. I'm going to keep these landscapes around so that if my spawns die, I still have double colorless. I've got all my other colors anyway. We just keep Null Drifter ripping their lands away. That keeps them off of the Tusker, keeps them out of the sky on their blocks. Cycle that Tusker, because they can't afford it. They do have the lethal throwdown for Null Drifter, sadly. It doesn't matter where I put it, I'm not going to attack with this snake. I guess they don't have the mana to adapt right now, so I can send in this offering to trade. It's not bad here. Still got an Ulamog and a Devourer of Destiny. We have not drawn Brea a single time yet today. We still have Kozilek's Command in the deck. Tamio's still in there, but pretty bad once we're down to 15 cards left. Cool. Probably just gonna keep cloning the snake. Or the 2/1. The only basics I have left in the deck are 3 islands. So if I do want to crack a landscape, crack Contaminated now. Actually, those are the only lands in the entire deck at this point. 3 islands. But then that does mean, since those are the only lands left in the whole deck, if I crack one of these landscapes, I'll never draw another colorless source if some board wipe happens and my spawns die. And I still have both of my double colorless cards left in the deck, Devourer and Kozilek's Command. Oh no. Kami Jealous Thirst wins top deck wars. We have a lot of like insta oops I win draws though, like we just listed. Ulamog, Kozilek's Command, and Devourer. So let's see if we can get one of those. At this point, that puts me under enough pressure. I think I'm just gonna thin an island out of here. And have only 2 lands left in the entire deck. Yeah, we got Ulamog, Devourer, Brea, Double Glimpse to get to them. Wrath would be fine. Kozilek's Command's very good. Most of our draws are very, very good. I think like 50-50 between super good and somewhat useful. Okay. So here's what I don't like about Wrath of the Skies. We're left with only a Kaith. So I'd have to... I'm pretty sure I'd have to just blow up literally everything with this. So we have to let the Kami be draining us here. They activate it once a turn. It's a pretty quick clock. Yeah, this thing's mana value 5. If I blow up everything but Kaith and Gargantua, Gargantua just eats me. Oh no. No, don't hit lands. I want you to play more creatures. Not lands and activations. Yep, there's the Kami activation. If they hit on another land, that's double activate next turn. There we go. There we go. What, enters tapped? Oh my god, I punted. I thought I could get both these out, and then even if I Wrath, I would still... Or not if I Wrath, but if this one dies, I'd still have the colorless. Oh my god, I punted. Because I can't actually get the 3 because the center's tapped. Oh, shoot. Draw 1 and get 1 spawn then? Oops. Thank God. At least they just take the trade anyway. 7 cards left to win this game. Gotta do 26 damage in 7 turns. Alright, they had the removal to kill the Kth anyway if they didn't trade. Hey, I think that can win the game. Fast enough. I got a lot of rares over there too. Propagator drone. Can spit out chumps, but this is Annihilator 5. So we still have inevitability fast enough to kill them before we mill. Devourer of Destiny can't exile an Eldrazi because it can't exile colorless cards. Ooh. Sack the drone, bring back 2 creatures tapped. 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. 18 is not 20. This is not lethal. Brea makes it lethal. 3 to a player or planeswalker. Beautiful. I was wondering, I was gonna say, we still haven't drawn Brea at all today, and then we just drew 35 cards this game. And still haven't seen her, but there she is. The mana has been weirdly consistent so far. Like our one loss was not mana. It was the Hydra. I guess it was sort of mana, right? Because we drew Ulamog that we couldn't cast to try to be blocking with. But that was, I still would have had the mana for Ulamog if I went, I think if I were blocking with more 2/1s instead of spawns. Which is what I was saying at the end of that game. I think that might have been winnable. There's the GG. That is 2 and 2. 2 and 2. Sorry, 2 and 1. I keep thinking from the normal 7 wins or 3 losses mindset, not 7 wins or 2 losses mindset. We are 2 and 1 heading into game number 4. Okay, this is a very awkward opening hand. It technically could have green and 2 towards Path of Annihilation, but then it doesn't have the mana to do anything else. If I crack Landscape towards white, I'm working towards Wrath of the Skies, but I don't have the mana to do anything else. I don't have blue for Harvester on 2. I'm very far away from Kaith. I think I have to mulligan this one. This is the first time we've actually felt our mana base a little bit. This is much better. I just ditch the double white Wrath. Yeah. There's a green source for Bridgeworks battle. Might still just hold it for now. Because again, we have double colorless cards in this deck. Yeah, let's hold on to that for now. Uh-oh. Boros, the potentially most aggressive color pair, and they sure do have Hexgold Slith. They are on the play. I'm glad I held it because we top decked the forest for the battle. This is the worst matchup to be on the draw for. This is probably the scariest matchup for this deck, is when our opponent is on aggro. We've got double removal in this hand, though. We have Demon Inferior, and Bridgeworks Battle. The Bridgeworks Battle is not very good right now, though. We only have a 1 toughness creature to use it with. So it's going to be pretty hard to find a spot where we can kill something with this without losing a creature. If we find the black source for Ophiomancer, it does work with that really well. Because it doesn't matter if the snake dies, it'll just come right back. So the snake death touches whatever we want away, and then we get the snake back. Oh god. Boros on the play with Detective's Phoenix, flying in with haste on turn 3. The full curve out into it. That's that Ophiomancer I needed. Yep, we set that up to stop the damage on the ground. That Phoenix is still going to be pain in the sky. I'm under enough pressure here. I think I need to be digging with Harvester rather than poking for 2. Seeing if I can find more cheap interaction. Just drop like a mountain here. Okay. Well, thanks to Death Touch, that's not the end of the world. They still don't do anything on the ground, but that's a lot of flying damage. This feels like a bad idea, but I want to ditch Demon Inferior, because then I can crack the Sheltering Landscape for white and play a Brea soon. Soon being literally next turn. Might as well get 1 damage in, right? So killing the Phoenix isn't even, like, incredible either, because it can bestow from the graveyard later. But it's currently their only card in grave, so it'll be a little while. Okay, well I still get my snake, but I will not get more after this turn. It's rough. I'm surprised they doubled up. If they just dog umbered the snake, it wouldn't be able to attack or block, and I wouldn't be able to make any more, and they wouldn't have to kill Ophiomancer. But I guess Ophiomancer was still threatening to trade off into somebody else. And then this makes it so I couldn't, like, sack the snake for any value or anything like that. Oh my god. What is this hand? They've dumped the whole hand out now. And they'll have the cards engraved too. But yeah, they get the trick there to get the mentor so that my blocks are irrelevant. 9 damage. We don't have the mana value to bring back Phoenix currently. It's 3 other mana value. It's so painful. I mean, they won't have trample this turn. They just have a 5/4 and a 2/2. We play a Brea. Brea trades into the 5/4. We hold the rest off. Yeah, they're playing off the top I have the 4/4 into 5/4 trade. We have the block for the unicorn. If they miss on this draw step, we could stabilize from here with these spells. That sure ain't a miss. That's first strike to the Slith. They don't have any trample on board, at least. I feel like they use the energy attack and first strike here, clear out one of my threats, one of my creatures. Make it harder for me to activate Brea, because I have to chump with one of these, or get rid of the Harvester so that can't block and go wide. That was a really good draw. We're having a very bad time. So we'll be cash in the final energy here, probably ditch the double white spell. I don't have time to wait on things like that. If I find something more relevant. Okay, an island is not really more relevant. I mean, I could go color an island and get the trigger. Is that better than holding on to the fell? Probably it's a surveil at worst, and it might be a full draw, and more mana towards Brea activations is fine. Okay. There's the white source. Great. Well, I can play that as a removal spell instead of a white source then. Wow. That was the best card that I could have had on top there. That was the only one blue mana creature in the deck. Another one. This is a draft deck, triple slip. I mean, I have 6 Razorgrass Ambush, not in the deck, but in the sealed pool. Oh, man. Tamiyo plus Brea is kind of sick. Tamiyo making an artifact every turn for Brea. I feel like I can afford to chump with a Thopter then, because Tamiyo. Okay, so I've got 1 ambush and a Brea activation available. We can -4/-4, we can gain 5, or we can deal 3. Let's try to stabilize off Tamiyo Brea. They have 3 mana value engraved, they need 6. So I can kill another 2-drop and they're still not 2 bestowing yet. And I think I have to here. I think I need to -4/-4 this. So I'd have to chump anyway. At this rate. Whoa. Did they go for 3 for 3 on relevant spells here? That's the only way that this attack is not really bad for them. Is if they drew another relevant card. Let's see what they got. I kind of want to hold up the Brea ability for anything they try to collect evidence and bestow onto. But nobody will be left if the Brea ability resolves anyway. Yeah, okay. Land. So they want to draw something to haste out with flying here. Hold up a big reach blocker then? No, probably just hold up Tameo. Tameo Breya's sick, but I just have their life total and then kill them next turn. I want to make sure I don't die to, like, something too big to double ambush. Getting hasted in the sky. Draw 2, discard 1 at random. Sweet Jesus. That was a really good deck from our opponent, really well played. Like going hyper aggro with the Siege Smash and Nyxborn Unicorn. They definitely played to their deck strengths there. And we did the best to play to ours, saving the Breya and trying to do the Breya stabilize. Oh man. It's been a crazy run for a really sketchy deck. Like mana-wise, but it's just worked out. All rares all day, let's just play all of them together. Get all our colors, and now we are at 3-1, getting 3,600 gems and 8 packs back, getting some of our entry fee back, and that'll be enough for another run because we got 5,000 gems in the account. So really happy to at least have gone more wins than losses, but we'll see how far we can take it, continuing on a little farther. Another Breya hand with blue, red, white, or black, blue, white. We got a Recruiter on 3 that can pick up a Tameo, Tempest Harvester on 2. This is a keep. Immediately drop the ambush tapped. Solar Transformer? Oh boy. Oh boy. 4 mana next turn? Doesn't matter unless I top deck a mountain or swamp, but who knows, maybe it'll happen. Actually, no, I can play Path of Annihilation. Oh my god. We play Path of Annihilation next turn, and then the world is our oyster. Transformer into Path of Annihilation on the play. Oh my god, and I can keep all the energy because I hit the natural green source? Sure. Magical Christmas Land, hello. Kami of Jealous Thirst. Oh my god, and we're on our way to an Ulamog off of all this mana? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm 1 mana from an Ulamog? Path of Annihilation's broken in half. 1 mana from Ulamog, so what do we do? Probably Recruiter plus Tempest Harvester and try to play spells that'll get us towards just 1 more mana, right? Mancer doesn't get us to more mana, but it's just a really good card. Don't actually have the mana to play both of these. Actually, weirdly think I'm on Tempest Harvester first. I mean, I could play both of these if I let a spawn die, but if I let a spawn die, we're farther from Ulamog. So I'm playing Tempest Harvester because that lets us get 1 more draw towards an untapped land. Well, so much for Ulamog. This biggest Eldrazi in the universe can get blocked by a Wormcoil larva. However, it still does a lot of Annihilator. But we have another very powerful option that we won't have if I sack all the spawn this turn. So let's just set up the Breya then. Breya, Ophiomancer. We're having a good time. We're having fun over here. There's the concession. Could spend the 2 mana off of Breya, sack 2 other artifacts, and kill the larva before the assault resolves. That was Magical Christmas then. There's not much else to say about that. That's our deck firing on all cylinders. However we played that, we were pretty likely to win. But yeah, the Brea being able to sack these and kill the larva, make sure the Assault doesn't resolve, was going to be just disgusting for them. Even if they had a second removal spell, it's totally fine value for us. Sure, we lose the spawn, it'll be a little longer till we play Ulamog, but this board state, we're very favored right now, so we have time in the lead. So 4-1 will be another great run this time around. At least twice as many wins as losses, and basically getting the whole entry fee back. We take those. But we are now heading into round number 6. Okay, 4 colors in this opening hand. Glimpse on 3 towards territory color. Actually can't glimpse on 3. I need to crack this for green more than I need it for red, I think. But this is a keep. I also have Harvester on 2. And the Harvester on 2 to do some digging will be nice. There's the natural green source, so we can definitely landscape for red, and then we have all 5 colors too. The biggest argument not to landscape for red would be to save the colorless mana if we hit a double colorless card. Uh-oh. Emperor Bones is one of the strongest rares, and it's one of the really quick ones, and our deck is really slow, so that's very scary for us. Yeah, it's a 4/4 that brings back something from grave to smack me in the face with. That is horrifying. Emissary of Soulfire for Exalted. Bash for 3. Nope, they're just going to pass through. Gives us a tiny bit of breathing room. Well, I know what I'm doing next turn. If I ditch this swamp, and I don't have colored mana off Path of Annihilation, I will never have another black source. It's the only swamp in the deck. But again, I have like I have 2 black spells and 2 double colorless spells, so they're both like just as important. I'll keep the landscape, because the landscape also works with territory color. Oh my god, I clicked the wrong card. I was too busy talking. I was supposed to play Forest Path of Annihilation. Okay, well, this lets us Tameo Glimpse. Which I think is a worse line, but not like astronomically so. But that's a punt. That's rough.
Is there a deeper meaning to this passage?
These are fine mills by me. I am chill with those mills. Play Path and Color next turn. We sack 1. Spawn. Get an Exalted counter onto their board. Get 1 clue token off of Emperor. Yeah, it's only 2 for the adapt. Sure, and they're gonna get a clue token here. Make the Exalted not trigger, which is cute, but it's 4 damage anyway.
Only one project.
What is going on with you? Whenever one or more counters upon this creature, Put with a finale counter, gains a sack at the beginning of the next sentence. So they just put Tamu out just to sack her. Okay. They do not want the clue token, actually. I don't think there's any draw that I would discard one of these for, because it's going to be path and then use all that mana for color. Or path and fell the Emperor. It's also not bad. I think we just get color down though. Guardian of the Forgotten. When a modified creature dies, which is all of them, they manifest at the top of their library. No attack there. They could have sent in the 5/5 with the Exalted. It's another tiny bit of breathing room for me. I'll take it. Oh, that's not an end step trigger. Okay. They do the attack this turn. Kind of feel like the spawns are better than Harvester at this point. Towards like any Ulamog top deck even. Don't want to go down to 10. I can, but let's soak that up. Okay. Play that, and if I hit an untapped land, I can play both without tapping territory color. Gain some life. Beautiful draw is beautiful. Did not hit the untapped land, so I would have to tap the territory color as well here to cast the Fell the Godsire this turn. And just have a Null Drifter untapped. But I'm back up to 19 now. So it would be pretty okay. Tap out, I think. I would be sacking some spawns, though. Yeah, no, we'll just play another Harvester. Keep our spawn friends. So I'll need to sack one for Devourer as well. Area Auxiliary. The Esper modified. Some really well-built synergy over there. You don't see Esper modified too much. That Guardian is going to pop off. So manifest the top card. Even if that itself dies, 10 damage, go down to 9 here. So many spawn jumps available in the future. Take 5. Okay, get rid of the one flyer. Now I don't even have to crack a spawn. Even if they have the counter for this still exiles a permanent. And I can afford to pay for that. Sure. I'll pay. Annihilator trigger. Hold a couple blockers. Turn the Exalted guy into just a 2/2. Pass. Ooh, Riddlegate Gargoyle, get lifelink every attack that they spend some energy. The Exalted's gone now, so they can't get past a 6/6. These draws are so good. We play it safe, holding this up at instant speed. To exile somebody and make just a bajillion spawns, really. Do X equals 10. This exiles any creature. This can actually exile Eldrazi. I could scry 10 and try to like draw into Ulamog here instead. I don't exactly need 10 more spawn. Sure. Scry 10, draw a card, and exile. Mana value 10 or less. Oh my god, it's scry, so I just order them however I want them as well? It's not just like pick one to draw. Oh my. Probably like this, I guess. More than good enough. There's the concession from our opponent. Just firing on all cylinders. Path of Annihilation being drawn so often has been so good for us. That card just completely makes this deck hop off. This is gonna be our best run so far. We are 5-1, a very positive record, leaving this event with way more than we paid to enter. That's 2,800 gems more than it cost to enter, plus 24 packs. We will absolutely take that, but we're also only one win away from freedom. If we can get one more win with this deck, we will get a play booster box, and then that'll be the end of these runs. I always do these till we get at least one box, and that would be enough for me here. So fingers crossed, this would be a super sick deck to end the runs off with, but we'll see. If we don't end them off with this one, if we do lose our next game, this was still a fantastic run, and it just means we get to play some more Modern Horizons 3. So heading into sort of the final battle area here, heading into the contention for the boxes, we are 5-1, heading into round 7. All right, here we are on the play for what may be one of the final battles here. We got turn 2 Transformer, ramp into a Kaith. And this is a definite keep. It's not too many colors in the opener, but the Solar Transformer helps that a lot. And the Tempest Harvester to go with the Transformer is also really, really nice to give it some more fuel for some more mana later. More multicolored mana. Go Transformer, double Tempest Harvester next turn without spending any energy yet. Black-white deck from our opponent. Pretty aggressive color pair if they aren't splashing around. And they start with Sorin. So they're probably not. Sorin is insane if he flips, and it's not too hard for them to get him to flip. They need to gain 3 life in 1 turn. They gain 1 off of lifelink, period. If they extort twice, they get there, or if they buff them, they get there. And then this is going to make a food, and then gain 3 and shoot something for 3, and then make food, then gain 3, shoot something for 3. That's terrifying, and I have no interaction for it right now. Pretty sure this is just double cast Harvester Harvester. This is what we've got here. Another black source. Proud Pack Rhino. Put a shield counter on Sorin now. Gross. Gain your 1. It's not the 3 yet, so that's fine. Another Tempest Harvester? What the heck? It would be way, way better to run out Kaith than anything else here, so I think I activate both and really hope we find a red or white untapped mana. Green is not red or white. If I completely miss here, then I think we play Tempest Harvester. So I think I ditched the forest. Cast Tameo and Tempest Harvester. I could cast Tameo and Tempest Harvester and play the landscape as well. Ditching a Null Drifter? Can't imagine that's right. If I keep the land, I'm at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 out of 7 this turn, 6 out of 7 next. Could ditch Cave. Kind of rough.
This is an interesting story.
So, if we want to flip Tameo next turn and they don't kill her here, she can definitely flip. You can draw like 4 cards. We have triple Harvester. Pearl Medallion plus Extort, eventually. Their white spells cost 1 less and they are extorting. Does the spell gain any life? This could be the combat trick here. But this could also just be gain 1. Okay, it's just gain 1. Mandibular Kite, they don't have the mana to extort that, thank goodness. So no Sorin flip. I'm gonna crack this one, I have my double colorless available. Interesting. Cast that, crack a clue and draw a card. Do both those things. Nothing good to kill here. I could also play it as the land though. Depending on what I draw off of this investigate. Okay, I drew the land, so I can play that, and then still I can also battle. Kill the flyer. think I'm going to +1 a Tameo here, make everybody 1 less power. That makes this flyer useless, that makes Soren useless on attacks. It's only the Rhino, and that's just a 2/3. Yeah, this is just work towards Tameo flip. Oh, that's a good play here. Might play Battle Tapped and Ophiomancer then for the turn. Get more colors. Yeah, I think that's what we do off that draw. That stops the Rhino attacks now as well.
I'd love to hear stories from your home. Respect the library.
Okay. We are the first one to flip Planeswalker. I mean, if they had like an early combat trick to just give Soren +2/+2 the turn after they played him, it would have been gnarly. Okay, this is still going to be really bad. Because that gives Flying Lifelink. Okay, yeah, no, this is an awful turn. Okay, we're still going to have a very bad time, because now Soren's going to flip as well. And then Soren deals 5 to whatever. Oh, God. I have absolutely no counterplay I can do against that. They got double Glassman Grace to go with the Soren, too. That is wild synergy.
It's been too long. I must feed.
Well, that turn was an absolute nightmare. I guess their board is small enough I can probably just jam everybody at Soren here. But I need to somehow not die to a 5/5 flying lifelinking Rhino now. 5/6. Draw the land, cast Null Drifter, and it's only a chump blocker for the flying Rhino anyway. I need to draw like perfectly. I think I need to loot. One, two, three, four, five, six. What can I even do for 6? Brea could be a hit. I don't actually have the mana for Brea though, so that doesn't count. Demon Fear Path. There's not a lot of draws here that are gonna be any better than just playing Null Drifter. In fact, there's almost none of them. Kozilek's Command's the one draw I'm looking for. So we just dig for Kozilek's Command and discard everything else. Guess. Kind of the position where we're in here. We need to kill this Rhino super, super fast. Ambush does not kill it. Okay, that's 2 cards closer to Kozilek's thing. Play this and hardcast a 7-mana Null Drifter, but I almost feel like we're evoking it at this rate. Guess we probably don't go that deep. They're hitting us for 6. Yeah, we have a tiny bit of time. By hardcast Null Drifter still, too. I'm shooting myself for another 3 to play it, though. So I'm at 11, taking 6. Going to 5. It's not a lot of time. What? Yeah. It's a thing. Actually pretty happy with the trade.
So hungry.
Land. Off Null Drifter. They've got 2 cards left in their hand here. We still need to find a solution to this Rhino really quickly. Even if they have nothing else. Oh my god, Gravedigg Sorin? Oh!
A proper noble requires a proper feast.
And then a Conjurer for some reason. What? Glasswing plus Sorin's insane. Sorin just flips and then eats the Null Drifter anyway. Yeah, if I don't block, they gain 5, Sorin flips and shoots me in the face for 5. That, oh my, I literally have to chomp. We have 1 out now, we need Wrath of the Skies. And that won't even kill Sorin. Jesus. Alright, well, I mean, we got Wombo comboed, practically Splinter Twinned with Sorin plus Flying Lifelink plus 2/2. And then the Gravedigg, even when we could get rid of him the first time. Just completely comboed out. I'm actually very surprised they went for a food token over like 5 to the face or something. Devour of Destiny would have won us the game if we hit it last turn, I think. Now instead, if I exile the Rhino, they can crack the food and deal 3 to any target. It's not enough to kill Devourer. Can exile a creature and return it to the battlefield. This Conjure doesn't do anything by itself. They have a single 2-power flyer off of that. I could exile Sorin, but this kills me way faster than Sorin does. If I make it so Sorin's alone here. And we might get the kill on Sorin too, it's possible. Okay, we don't get the kill on Sorin. Get to kill the Conjurer though.
You regret that.
Okay, they're playing off the top. We're actually still in this off of that Devour of Destiny top deck. They can eat a food, kill my Death Toucher, I guess. Eat a food, kill my Harvester. If they top decked a land here. That's about it. And then Sorin would not be dead. It's only a -1. Okay, they are going to eat the food and kill Harvester, it looks like. Yeah, stop me from my
Bleed for me.
card selection. It's kind of funny.
I'll make sure you regret this.
Another Gravedigger. They don't have the lifelink anymore, though. So even if they hit the Gravedigger, they wouldn't flip another Sorin at this point. I'm pooping myself right now. I don't know if you can hear that. Not playing around haste from Black-White. Sure. Go the 6/6. Now they have a lot of time with all that life they gained. They're on a 30-turn clock from my snake. But I got other Eldrazi I can draw that'll hit them a lot faster. Recruiter's a good draw. Actually, I might have drawn all of my 2 toughness or less creatures already. Let's find out. This might actually be a bad draw, because we hit all of the Harvesters. Possible there's nothing left. There's nothing left. Okay, we got a Ulamog, a Kohler, a Brea, double Glimpse to dig for those, and a Kozilek's Command for finishers. Okay, Island is the only basic left. And I have a Kozilek's Command to draw into, so I'm not wrecking this landscape. We gotta keep double colorless. Okay, we still got finishers. There's still some in there. About a third of the cards, I believe. Because there were 3 or 4 really good finishers out of 13. Just Gargantua. when it gets the counters, it lets them draw the cards. So I can respond with the slice to make sure they don't draw cards. Yeah. This way it doesn't get the counters and they don't dig for more threats. Cycle. Hello there. Nine out of 10 mana for this. This draw actually makes us want to top deck a land at this point. That's kind of crazy. It's really good this late. Double flyer. Oh. We are the champions, my friends. I'm gonna lose my snake. But you gotta do what you gotta do. Wrath for 1 here to kill their kite and their flyers, but not my solar transformer. Guess if they block the snake, I could play Fells the Godsire instead and save the Wrath. Yeah, they weren't gonna do that. Hello, Brea. That speeds things up. There's the Path of Annihilation for Ulamog next turn. Need them to discard a non-land card to be able to fell that, but Brea can still deal with it, regardless. Alright, now that I have Path of Annihilation, I'm cool to sack Solar Transformer. There's Ulamog. They're at 12, and Ulamog's at 12-12. This might be the run. Annihilator 5. They take it. We have officially won a Japanese Modern Horizons 3 play booster box, and it was with the silliest, stupidest deck that we've built so far, but that is not the end of the run yet. You can play and attempt to win 2 of these boxes. So we are now 6-1, heading into round number 8. Which will be the final battle, whether we win or lose. That'll be the final game of Magic for today. Alright, here we are for the final game of Magic. This is a 3-land opener with no blue, but it has Ophiomancer available, and there's more blue sources in this deck than anything else. If it doesn't hit the blue, it's got a real bad time, and we're on the draw with it too, but Ophiomancer is actually really nice defensively on the draw. I'm going to keep this on the draw, because also, like, if we top deck any land regardless of color, I could then landscape for white and have at least 2 spells till we hit the blue. Yeah, so we hit a mountain, which means I can crack landscape on white. to have ambush up as well as an Ophiomancer on 3. They're on a green, white, blue landscape though, so unless they crack for plains, I don't know if I want to crack my landscape, because if they're just getting like a green source or something, and they don't play a 2-drop on turn 2, this might not be like a matchup where we really want to cast Razorgrass Ambush anyway. In which case I should save this in case we hit a double colorless card. Or a green card. So they play a landscape. Yeah, if they play a good aggressive 2-drop, I think we need to crack for white. But if they don't play anything here, I'm not cracking this. Okay. They don't play anything, and there's the blue. Okay, we have a game of Magic on our hands. Lead with Harvester then. They cycle an Eldrazi Ravager. If they go like Swamp, some kind of Reanimator spell, that's gonna be bad for me. I guess I could just deem it. Born Power Stone. Deem hits any non-land permanents, so pretty happy to get rid of the Power Stone here, I think. Stop them from dumping Eldrazi on me this soon. Give them a wee little poke. Yeah, I've got a really good spell next turn still, Ophiomancer. I don't think I need to dig right now. They kept the Power Stone to play a couple turns from now. Propagator Drone. Oh, and then Ugin's Labyrinth. Just a colorless source, no 7-drop to exile for it. Kaith is the draw. So I can go Mountain Ophiomancer, crack Landscape for white, and play Kaith next turn. Seems like a turn. Or I could play the Razorgrass Ambush as a land here. It's also reasonable, considering I don't really want to crack the landscape if we hit any colorless cards. But having the ambush for Propagator Drone seems fine, but I doubt that's ever attacking or blocking if I resolve an Ophiomancer anyway, so yeah, we'll actually play this as the tap land now. Then Ophiomancer, then untap Mountain, that way I'm not shooting myself in the face when I Kaith. Well, they're gonna shuffle away the Power Stone. Goodbye. Ramp. Hello, blue source. And there's a red source as well. Again, they were on the play here, so they do have access to 5 mana right now while we're chilling on 4. They're gonna pass through with all their mana up. Don't have the double blue to Tamiyo and Kaith here. Probably just Kaith. Looting actually does look valuable now, because if I mostly tap out for Kaith right now, I don't really have a good play next turn, because I don't have another one until 7 mana. I'll play a 1-drop Tamiyo and have 5 mana up for nothing else, if I don't find something good off Harvester. So just Kaith. We have the mana to play around the counter unless we pay 1, not the counter unless we pay 2, though. They do not counter. I suppose worst case scenario with our draws, we get to make another snake with Kaith or something like that with our extra mana. Kaith can populate clue tokens too. If they have like no interaction, things go really long. There's Writhing Chrysalis. We've gotten lucky enough to actually run up against 0 Writhing Chrysalis so far today, which is very surprising. Luckily, Ophiomancer is decent against it, but that's going to be absolutely astronomical here. With the Propagator drone on their board too, that's really gross. Yeah, this is still a nightmare. Oh my god. We got the box, doesn't matter what happens now. Like, they don't get additional spawn off of the bonuses, but every other one is getting counters when all the spawns are dying. Okay. Well, I'm glad I have the energy to now loot twice with Harvester, because we need to loot into a way to kill Chrysalis immediately. Or they just get another Chrysalis every single turn. Oh my god, we did it. Oh, I don't have double colorless. Oh my god, I don't have double colorless. There's 1 out of 2 colorless here. I think I have to ditch Tamia or the forest here and loot again with Harvester. I think I'm ditching Tamia. Because if I hit like Path of Annihilation, I will really, really, really want to cast that next turn. I will not be able to without the forest. God, that's a bummer. Goodbye, Tamio. Oh god, both the double colorless cards? Do I have to cycle Null Drifter at this point? Oh! Hallelujah! I'm gonna do this while they're mostly tapped out. They have 3 colorless up. Alright, I don't know if Tamia was the right discard on the first Harvester trigger, but because of what we drew, we would have crafted our hand into being these 3 spells regardless by the end of all the looting. Okay. All right. I don't need the snake on blocks here, so go on in, little guy. You got this. Ravager's bad, but if they don't get any copies of it, it's fine. All of their tokens have Evolve? Ew. Hello, Brea. So Devourer of Destiny cannot kill Propagator Drone. So I kind of want to Brea away the Propagator Drone here, because the drone plus Nantuko is very bad for me as well. Okay. Large. Ophimancer's putting in so much work right now. Holding this stuff off. Brea Kaith is a sick wombo combo. As long as we got the extra mana for that. Keep making an artifact token every turn. I can Devour of Destiny and kill the Springheart and Antuco. Or I can Null Drift or draw some cards. They have no reach. They have no reach and they're at 14. I am pretty into the Null Drifter here. As the play then. Let's go for the Null Drifter here. We still have enough spawn to sack a couple and activate a Brea in a pinch. Potential Ulamog. I almost want the counter, but take the servo for more Brea activations. 12 is like 2 hits from dead either way in the sky. 6 damage, 6 damage. I could actually just hit for 6 and then activate Brea twice to deal the final 6. Could make them lose 3. Well, not lose 3, but take 3. That's probably the plan. I could sack a spawn right now to populate another artifact out. And I have 1 less mana available. Future. That opens me up to being able to go for the Brea kill without sacking Brea. Though. So that if they do end up having some kind of interaction, it still ends up playing fine. Because I still have the Brea out. Brea's got a 4 mana deal 6 on this board. Okay. That is bad. I definitely can't lethal them now. Can double activate Brea to kill the Ravager. So that Null Drifter lives. Or I can just let Null Drifter die and they go to 9. I think we double activate. Okay, I didn't need to populate before I did that. I miscounted and thought I did. But I guess we get 1 more damage in this way, but it's a little less safe on blocks because I'm more tapped out. Mechanist isn't untapped. I can't choose to populate a Death Toucher instead. I guess I did need to do it that way if I wanted to make sure that I still had a Thopter on the board to keep populating. If I didn't do it this way, I would no longer have any artifact tokens left on the board. Yeah, that's where my head was. Just completely forgot. I was really just focused in on playing it. And then when my mind shifted over to trying to communicate, I completely forgot. And now I'm looping back and being like, oh yeah, right, that's why I did that. Because I want to make sure I still have an artifact token to keep populating. It's the only way to guarantee that I don't sack all of the artifact tokens. Creatures without flying can't block this turn. I have Brea gain 5. Seven? 13. This is 13. 14, 15, 16. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. Okay. They need a combat trick or a burn spell alongside shutting off all my blockers. We're at 4. Okay, they have 2 blockers. They don't have the green for that. They can't block the 4 in the sky. Both 2 blockers, they can block the 3 and block the 2. That's 6 damage. I need to do 7 here. Oh my god. And they killed my red source too. I can't exile colored cards. Colorless cards. I can't exile a Eldrazi. Block 6 damage. Am I getting a 2/2? Or the 1/1? I really feel like this is a 1 more turn kind of game. Oh my god. What an insane run for the max prize out. We had a lot of really close games. That Boros game we stabilized with a Brea of all things. There's this game that we almost just got domed by Sundering Eruption, just 20-0. But we had the Brea life gain. Oh my god. What a run. That was a very unexpectedly good run. We got really, really lucky throughout this. I will say I think the mana base was a lot better than I was giving it credit for. However, I do not think that the mana base was as good as it played. We got very, very lucky with our mana draws. These two things can be true at the same time. The mana base can be better than I thought it was, but still not as good as it drew. It drew really, really well. We had Path of Annihilation in the majority of those games, which was really, really lucky because that card auto fixes for anything in the whole deck. So that helped a ton. There's a lot of landscapes in here, so yeah, it was better than I was giving it credit for sure. But as you could tell, it was awkward in some of those games. The fact that it's like, well, I need to crack the landscape to have the right colors, but if I crack the landscape, I can't cast these double colorless cards. That kind of tension I was talking about did come up, but it did not come up as often as I thought it would. And we got quite lucky with it to where it really didn't come up as often as I think it probably would have on average. So really, really, really lucky run with this one. I mean, we had a lot of really huge, really high power with these rares, particularly a bunch of big old Eldrazi to ramp into. I didn't see a great two-color synergistic pile, so I said, you know what? I'm going to buck the trend that I usually do and just say screw it and throw it all at the wall and see what lands. And luckily for us, it really stuck the landing here. Razorgrass Ambush did manage to get cast once or twice, but the average matchup did end up playing to where the ambush would have been, just as good as a Plains. So I'm still not super confident about the triple ambush here as our remaining white sources. That was another little deck building decision. Again, I really don't think we built this perfectly. We certainly didn't play it perfectly. I think we played really poorly in a couple of the winning games. I think our losing game, I don't remember if there's like a guarantee we could have won it, but I do remember that we had a bunch of Eldrazi spawn token, and I chose to chump and soak up damage with a bunch of those instead of a couple 2-1s. If we left a little bit more Eldrazi spawn out when we had the Path of Annihilation out, we might have been able to actually resolve the Ulamog we top decked. Now, Ulamog doesn't do anything the turn that we resolve him. He's just like one really big blocker, but there's a chance that one really big blocker could have been just enough to buy us enough time to try to turn the table. I don't know about that one, but that could have also been somewhere that we misplayed. But I know for sure there were multiple misplays during the winning games, but just the raw power of the spells in this deck managed to carry. Yeah, this is an insane deck. I look at this picture and I'm like, all right, that's a O2 right there. As exciting and powerful as the rares and stuff were, but man, the landscapes really got there. The Path of Annihilation was just always in the hand. We got real lucky on this run. Brea was so huge. The first half of this event, we didn't draw Brea a single time, and then the second half was a lot of Breas those last 2 or 3 games. So that was pretty cool. We got to Tamiyo flip. Literally, the gang's all here. Everyone got to show up and play to their best here. Glimpse the Impossible got us spawn tokens to help Path of Annihilation a few times. There was also a game where we had a bunch of mana off Path of Annihilation, and we got to glimpse and just cast everything that we glimpsed into. We got to flip Tamiyo. We got to Brea and Sack. We got to populate tokens out with Kate, or Kaith. We made some snake tokens, and most importantly, that last game I think is the best that Kaith ended up playing. Kaith and Brea together, duplicating our flying Thopters and giving us more artifacts and more flyers to chip in for damage at the same time. Ophiomancer was consistently great at grinding the game to a halt and making us pretty stable, especially that last game was just a picture-perfect showing of what Ophiomancer is meant to do. Our opponent just can't afford to send in these 6/6 Eldrazi because it's I'll just trade a Death Toucher into it and then get the Death Toucher back next upkeep anyway. So Ophiomancer showed up often and did great. Ulamog was actually castable in here. We resolved Ulamog 2 or 3 times in this event in an arena direct. Null Drifter was always there. Kozilek's Command was flexible. Devourer of Destiny was a great 2-for-1. Really, really excellent rares here. all held together by duct tape and hope, and luckily it paid off for us this time around. That is a 7-win run. That is going to end all of the Modern Horizons 3 Arena Directs for me then. I did have to spend $100 at one point, refill my gems, so this was $100 to play these 5 runs in total. And for that $100, we managed to get the 2 booster box prize out. So we spent $100 for 2 booster boxes, which regular Modern Horizons 3 play booster boxes are currently selling for about $225 on the secondary market. I have to imagine, at least after this Arena Direct, that Japanese play booster boxes of Modern Horizons 3 will be selling for a bit lower than that. So rather than $225, let's just say $200. That's $100 for $400 worth of prize out. That would be absolutely excellent. And even if they really flood the market from this Arena Direct, and I have to sell them for less than what they're worth, obviously, because I am not a retail chain store or something like that, that'd still be probably like $150 a piece. So spent $100, played competitive Magic, won $300. Still seems great. A fantastic Arena Direct run this time around. It was hurting a little bit early there. It always feels rough to lose any games in these kind of events because you are really trying to get those huge prizes. So despite being like 4-2, 3-2, 2-2, like respectable runs, we never got less wins than losses or anything like that. It was still starting to sting there, so having it all flip around, that one win can immediately flip it like that, as you can tell, because we won $300 here. So we could have ended up having to spend 3 times as much money and still breaking even, at which point we would have had to play like 3 times as many runs, 15 runs. Thank goodness that didn't happen. But anyways, I'm rambling now. I'm at over 3 hours of recording now. This has been a really, really long run because I was trying to play my hardest and played pretty slow for it, which, as you can see, paid off. I did not know what I was doing with this deck, but it made it to the 7-win run here. That is finally going to end the Modern Horizons 3 Arena Direct runs, and that is going to end today's video. As always, I'd like to thank my patrons and YouTube members for their support, as well as you for watching the video. If you enjoyed it and you're interested in seeing some more, you can always like, comment, and subscribe to tell the YouTube algorithm to send you some more in your recommended feed. If you'd like to catch me live, you can check out the Twitch channel in the link in the description below. If you'd like to support the channel directly, you can check out the Patreon link in the description below. And other than that, as always, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you again soon for some more Magic Arena.